Hi, everyone. Wow, it's been a while. First of all, I hope you and your family are safe and healthy. I hope that you're all practicing good social distancing to stop the spread of this virus. I know it's been crazy. It's crazy for us all, unfortunately. So, I wanted to go over some of what the rest of the semester is going to look like for you. This is going to be on Blackboard for you to look back on. But just some house rules. Be sure to check your email. I'll be emailing announcements and reminders of things that are due. So make sure you check that often. You also want to stay in contact with me. You can email me or chat with me on Google Hangouts. You would just use my Rowan email address. So if you don't understand something, please do not wait. You need to get these concepts down kind of quickly. And I know it's hard, but I'm here to help. So some important dates that we're going to use going forward are going to be Fridays and Sundays. So everything will be due on either of these due dates. And I'm just realizing I'm going to have to change Easter, but I will do that. So it won't be due on Easter. As I said, I'm going to give you updates and announcements and reminders. And we're going to use this new program called PackBack. This is new, and I'm sorry I'm making you sign up for something different. We unfortunately can't use Poll Everywhere anymore. So PackBack is almost like a social media site for the class. It kind of looks like old school Facebook, actually. But we're going to be able to post questions, and everyone's going to be able to answer that. And I'll explain that as we go forward. So some office hours I'm going to have set are Wednesdays 2 to 4, Fridays 3 to 5. This will be on Google Hangouts. I'll definitely be here for those times, but I can also make myself available at other times if those don't work. Some things we need to talk about for the course. I don't know why there's not a space here, but we'll be skipping over chapter 7. I spelled everything wrong. So we're skipping over chapter 7. We just don't have time for it, especially since we missed a week. We're also not having midterm 2. Again, I think that'll just give us all some breathing room. I know you have a lot to do for my class and also every other class you have. So the rest of the semester, we're going to be doing 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, those chapters. And because we made some changes, the course weights are going to be altered slightly. So we have the old weights that were in the original syllabus and now the new ones. So engagement goes up to 15%. Homework goes up to 20%, and quizzes go up to 15%. The core quiz, which we're going to talk about all of these, but the core quiz is still 5%. Your midterm that you just took back at school is worth 20%. That hasn't changed, but your final is going to be worth just a bit more, so 25 instead of 20. So talking about everything that, all these components. So first we'll talk about engagement. So it used to be you coming to class and participating. That's obviously not going to happen now, but you logging into Connect every week, we're going to be using Connect for a lot of this, and completing your work, that's going to count as engagement. We're also going to have assigned readings or podcasts, depending on the subject, that are going to be assigned every week. So you're required to listen or read those, depending on what it is. Some of these concepts that we talk about or we hear about in those readings and podcasts are going to show up on quizzes and finals. Now, each week, several students are going to be randomly assigned to discuss the readings or podcasts on PackBack. So I have assigned people below. I will be in contact with them and give them questions I want them to discuss on PackBack. And everyone else, the week after, is going to have to reply at least twice on PackBack to these answers to the questions. Say, talk about if the person's wrong, you think, if the person's right. But I want something more than, yeah, I agree, or you're right. You should provide some, more discussion and ask more questions that might need to be answered and give alternative perspectives. PackBack is good for helping you learn this. You will be receiving an email probably today that just has the information to sign up. Here's like a little tutorial. So everything should be given to you in your email. So any responses that you have to make, the 2 responses are going to be due on Sundays as well. Now, PackBack can also be a tool for asking for help from other students. So it could be on the readings or on the material for class. So I'm not going to have you guys send and answer question or just, ask questions outright. What's the answer to number 2? But maybe ask, how do I approach this problem? Or how did you start this? And then if someone else responds, that counts for one of your 2 weekly responses. So now homework is going to be on Connect just like before. They're already assigned to you. If you miss the date on one, these are due on Sundays, by 11:59, you can complete the assignment for half credit. Those half credit assignments are in a folder at the end of all the assignments. Then we're going to have short quizzes on Connect each week. This is really going to help test for your understanding to make sure I know that you guys are understanding the material and you yourself knows and understands the material. These are going to be due on Fridays by 11:59. They're going to be on Connect, and you're only going to have one chance to answer them. So it's a little different than homework. But you'll have about 30 minutes to complete the quiz. It'll probably be more time than you need. Since we're going to have more quizzes than we would, each of these quizzes are only going to be worth about 1%. So they're not going to kill you in your grade, but hopefully help to make sure you're understanding this. And if you're not, you can go back and check what you're not understanding. So that core quiz, that's something that we had before. That's going to be assigned on Connect April 27th. And this is just a cumulative assessment that covers everything we've done. So it's going to be 30 minutes time, and it's worth 5% of your grade. Again, you'll only have one opportunity for each question. Now the final, this is still going to be cumulative. Now, I'm going to ask that you complete the final on Tuesday, May 5th. That's when our exam was actually scheduled. This is going to mostly be on Connect. It's going to be timed, and same thing like quizzes. You have just one chance at each question, but I might have some things that you need to email me. So the graphs, maybe some math questions that will be harder to do on Connect. Overall, though, between Connect and the other stuff, it should take no longer than 2 hours. So you'll only have one day, Tuesday, to receive these and also complete them. You'll need to email me those other answers with the graphs and math questions. You can take a picture of, your work in a notebook, and that will be fine. You don't have to do anything fancy. Now, we have a schedule. First of all, I have the week here, shows what the dates are. We're starting everything next Monday. That's when we come back officially. And so we have different chapters that we're going to be doing. Chapter 9 we're going to start with, which if you were in class the last Thursday that we did have class, we did start this a bit. Now the link here goes to the PowerPoints from your book, but they're narrated. So that kind of saves me some time. I will record myself for certain more difficult things, and especially if people have questions about a particular part. And I'll just upload them and put them in this document as well. I'll make an announcement that they're there. And you have a reading. It's from NPR. I think this is actually a podcast where you can read the transcript. And then I randomly assigned 6 people here to answer questions on PackBack. Again, I will be giving you questions, emailing them to you to answer. So on Friday, you're going to have a quiz on Connect on Chapter 9, or by Friday. This will be assigned all week. You can do it at any time. It just has to be done on Friday, by Friday. And then we have a homework assignment due Sunday that you have to complete, again, before Sunday, 11:59 p.m. You also need to complete the reading, even if you're not assigned there. Lastly, you have to sign up for Packback. There's like a little tutorial training, nothing too long, about 5 minutes, but I'm going to ask you some initial questions on there. So everyone will need to answer about, 2 times or to each question I ask. You don't need to respond to each other just because that's a little weird. So then the week after, we have now 2 chapters. They're shorter. We have another NPR podcast or transcript that you'll have to read. Now, the people who are assigned for this reading are here. They have to answer the questions, again, that I ask you on Packback. Now, by Friday, you'll have to complete 2 quizzes this week. On Connect, you have to respond to Packback from the week before. So from week 1, respond to those answers that, the answers that other students have given on Packback. You also have 2 homeworks on Connect, and you have that reading. So everyone has to complete the reading no matter what. Same thing. This is not anything different. I just have for the article a Google Drive PDF because it was through the New York Times, and I know it sometimes asks you to log in. But of course, you're going to do pretty much the same stuff. You're going to read it. By Friday, you have, again, 2 quizzes, and by Sunday, you have to respond to the Packback from the week before, have to do a homework, and you also have to complete the new reading. Now, the last week of new stuff is going to be on chapters 13 and 14. There's some things I say to skip or, to stop looking at a certain slide. So we're just not going to cover the 4 firm concentration ratio on chapter 13. Unfortunately, I can't edit it out of their narrated slides, so just ignore it. And 14, our stuff is going to stop at slide 22. After that, we're not going to be seeing that at all. And have a little ad here. Let's see. Okay. So then that week 4 for, this new post-quarantine schedule, you also have this article. Some people are assigned to answer questions. And by Friday, you want to complete the 2 quizzes. And by Sunday, you want to make sure you respond to the Packback from the week before. Do this homework 10, 13, and 14. Which is a new one. It's not the same as before just because we don't have enough time. So this homework 10 is going to be a little different. Just make sure you do that. It's going to be shorter than what we had before, and complete the reading. So then week 5 is our last official week of non-finals. We're going to do some final review. So I'm going to give you some material, probably ask questions on Connect to make sure you're understanding this. Due by Friday is that core quiz and this final review that I'll ask on Connect. Then due by Sunday, respond to the Packback from the week before and make sure you're studying for the final. And then week 6 is the final week. And so on the 5th, Cinco de Mayo is on Tuesday. And again, you'll have all day to complete it, but the Connect part will be timed. So that is all I have. So you want to make sure that you're keeping up with my class and all your other classes. If you've got this far into my recording, why don't you just send me an email and say hello? And that email will give you 2 points extra credit on the final. So you get a little gift if you read through or listened through this all. I'm going to need some time to upload future content like the Connect stuff, but you'll definitely have everything you need by the week that starts, that Monday it starts. And hopefully I'll get you some Connect stuff that you can do in advance if you'd like. So, stay on top of this, stay in contact with me. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Hope you're all well. Bye. Thanks.